Why are the northern military ex-generals coming out to say that the state policing initiative that the current president wants to push, Nigerian people are not ready for it?
Everybody, why are we allowing illegal mining in many parts of the country that is going on? And they are being mined by retired generals, and we know them.
Why are they saying that? Yes, I have seen some older military generals, even in the south, calling the president to be very cautious of creating state police. Is it not surprising to you? The military generals, these are former military generals who are supposed to be calling for every legitimate means on how the country will be able to tackle insecurity. But here they are. No wonder under Buhari, there was never a time there was a roundtable discussion on state security or state police, considering the fact that Buhari is a former military general. The same thing was when Obasanjo was still in power. Obasanjo never talked about establishing state police. I think the military generals are afraid of what we call a viable competition. Or should I say, maybe the military generals have something that they all know. Because insecurity, banditry, insurgency can never thrive if there are no internal sabotage. We know that the international communities and organizations, the United States intelligence, and even the Arab intelligence, they've all told us that the reason why insecurity has thrived for a very long time is because there are some elements who are, don't forget, who are benefiting. And also, there was a time this young man, Adams Oshuomole, came out, which you will watch the video just to serve you as a reminder. When he came and he said that it is former military generals that are aiding banditry because they are the ones largely involved in illegal mining. Whether in the north, whether in the middle belt, whether in the south, they are involved in illegal mining, either mining of gold, either mining of crude, either mining of lithium. I mean, we can, as a citizen, look at Tinubu as a bad person. Yes, because an economy, he has failed. Can you imagine? All of us, we are shouting, Ebin power, Ebin power. This man, this old man, has run to France again to go for vacation. From France, he will go to United Kingdom, where he will spend maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? But putting that aside, looking at this argument he has brought forward, maybe he wants to use it as a propaganda, as a means of distraction, perhaps, all right? But is it worth discussing about? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is worth discussing about. Because for 65 years, if some military ex-generals, if some top retired police officers will come out and still be standing against state police creation, when Nigeria is way above 65 years, way older than so many other African countries that have something that's similar to state police, then I have nothing but to agree what Adams Oshuomole said in the past, that the illegality in our mining sectors are being aided by top military generals, the likes of Gowon, the likes of T.Y. Danjuma. So many of them, Buratai needs to be questioned. Why are they not out there protesting for the creation of state police as against keeping silent when their mates, their fellow comrades who they serve together but are retired now, are saying that no, the government will abuse the use of power. Listen, even without the state policing, are they not abusing it? Joajero was beaten to stupor the other day when he went to where? Imo State in 2022 into 2023 election. He was beaten to stupor, and when Uzodinma was asked, he said, well, he guessed Joajero did more than himself. No, we have had enough. The state police creation has never in time stopped the government or the governors from abuse of power. It was never the one that has said they will not abuse their power. The very known, well-known investigative journalist in the north, in Kaduna to be precise, Dadiyata, who since maybe 2000 or 2001, immediately after the NSAS protest, who condemned El-Rufai government aggressively. We know what happened to him. Till this very day, nobody can find him. Nobody. We also saw how El-Rufai was boasting on camera the other day when he said the El Zazaki group, he dealt with them and he's unapologetic about it. I beg, is that state creation in there? No. The Nigerian people are prioritizing their issues. We don't accept our fate. Say our governors are already tyrants, but we have had enough of them excusing themselves because they are not in charge of any form of security apparatus. Let us give them this so that they can tackle the Fulani marauding areas that are disturbing everybody all over the country. Yes. But again, we know that, you see, in Nigeria, those people are the top echelon, whether you are Igbo, whether you are a Fulani man, for as long as they are united in their illegality, they push aside their ethnic divide. This is what we know. They will push aside their ethnic divide. They will not see themselves as Fulani anymore. They will not see themselves as Yoruba anymore. Why? Because they are all eating from the same pot of corruption. Are you following me? Very well. Good. So at that stage, they don't care. The Yoruba man, even if they are buying his people, but provided that he and a Fulani man are at the top echelon, they are served in a bowl of corruption, they don't care. They are all having an equal share of the cake. Something that we can akin or compare to what we call blood money. The same thing in the crude. If you go into the creeks of the Niger Delta today, in there you will find so many military naval officers, so many military marine general officers who are what? Engaging in this illegal what? Crude theft. But the Niger Delta ex-generals will just look away while their children are suffering. Their children farmland, their children sea farms, fish farms are being destroyed by oil leakages. They don't give a damn. Both the Fulani military general, both the Ijaw military general, all of them, they do waiting. They chop together from that pot bowl of corruption. If the Nigerian people, if we keep quiet, we allow this narrative of these generals to what? To confuse and convince the Tinubu who is talking about it. Okay? It will end up not pushing it. Or if the oppositions, the political oppositions, the likes of Atiku, the likes of Dauda Lawal in Zamfara, who has come out to say that I know where the bandits are, but I do not have the power. If Dauda Lawal cannot at this time, with the pronunciation, with the announcement that I want to create state police by Tinubu, cannot go out there and be shouting to the northern leagues of governors that we must support Tinubu. I want state police. I want state police. I want state police. If he cannot support it, then they are not serious. then we the people also, we do not know what we want. Because I believe most of our issue stems from insecurity and lack of power. If we as a people can come out and begin to push, okay, Tinubu, go ahead with the state police, create the state police, we want the state police, we begin to protest, we begin to campaign, then we all will have the state police. Because when we do, the militaries will be sent back to the border. You guys are supposed to ensure the integrity of our borders, not you engaging and involving yourself in internal, squaffles and troubles. Let the indigenes of a territory, of a state, of a region, let them be the one in charge of their problems about insurgency. So I will understand that when I say an element, when I ask him a question about the territory and he cannot answer, immediately I can profile him, I can get him arrested. If I see he's moving wavy, his movements are shady, he's looking like a thief or like a terrorist, like a bandit, immediately I will be able to capture him. But in a situation whereby it is still the army that are involved, in every checkpoint it is still the army, okay, we will understand that the army, who are usually northerners, and you deploy them to southeast, they will not understand a common Igbo language of maybe how una dey o. A simple question, what do you guys want? You might think that they are cursing him, and before you know it, he might just start firing. But an Igbo man who is a state police in one place in maybe Ugwashuku, or in Okigwe, or maybe in Olu, maybe in, any place, maybe in Ibarapa, maybe in somewhere in Taroni, maybe somewhere in Ochikum, he will see them passing, he will just ask them in local dialect, where una they go? They will tell him, simple and short. He will ask them simple question, what happened in this place so time? Oh, they will tell you, okay, these ones are real people. You might even ask them something that has to do with their history. This. You answer that, okay, these ones are confirmed, they are not saboteurs. But a person that is a saboteur, they will ask him in local dialect, he will be lost. That is how state police thrive. That is how state police curbs insecurity over time. That is how state policing is very, very needed for us in this country. Why? Because a state police will speak the language you understand. 2, a state police will protect the common values of that community. It is more like a customary police. 2, okay? Then thirdly, there will be what we call sense of ownership. A state police will fail if the people are complicit. It's as simple as that. If the people of that community support the legality of the state police, then it will fail. And most importantly, if this must be passed, Tinubu must ensure that they put in policies, put in laws that to some extent their powers will not be absolute above the federal police. If we do not start it, how do we then perfect it? Yes, they said that a step to 1,000 miles, it just starts in a day. You're not going to get to that 1,000 miles in a day, but one day you go start out. When you start it, initially you'll be tired. Over time, you start moving. You keep moving. That's it. We all know that the Americans, while they were still going through their Wild Wild West, which is similar to what we have in Nigeria today, where there's insecurity, where there's some people who feel they're superior to others because they have weapons. When we keep having the state police, of course, if I am so, patriotic about my community, I will join the state police. I mean, look at what is going on in Anambra. The Agune Chamber, when they were initially inaugurated, they went all out, and they were able to tackle somewhat. That's that element. Some criminal elements who are calling themselves IPOP sympathizers, IPOP, Liberation Army, whatever, what have you. These were children of Simon Ekpa. They were able to curb them. But over time, the Agune Chamber became what? Excessive. in their use of power. They were now beating corps members. Why? Because she was working without bra. Listen, what was the Agune Chamber trying to do? They were trying to protect the customs, like the values, moral values, but they were too excessive. And then the government told them, listen, when you see our girls walking around without pants and bra, don't beat them up. Just pick them up. Those ones that did that, they were punished decisively. But you will agree with me now that any lady who is working in Anambra State will think about her life twice if she wants to go out without bra or pants. Now, as mundane or as trivial that may sound, that is what state police does. It sort of protects your what? Your social cultural values. Yes. So if the Northerners have the state police, we will understand that their ISBA police will probably, maybe they will metamorphose into that, or they will go into extension. Then the state police will start implementing some of their Sharia what values that they want to protect, such as don't rear pig, don't sell alcohol, and at the same time they will curb crimes. It bothers me when these elements will come out, these military generals will come out and be telling us that the Nigerian contraption is not ready. Why are you people so wicked? Military generals that are always immune. A former military general will forever have, security aides that will be protecting him. Yes, because there's a common balance that they say that once a military is always a military. So there's always this preferential treatment that they get. Let us listen to that Adams Oshiomhole exposition. At that time, we remember that there was serious backlash. In fact, Adams Oshiomole's life was threatened. Perhaps these are the reasons why most of these generals are all out there now standing against state policing. Let's watch Adams Oshiomhole once again.
There is no question in my view, and I come from an area where you have, like you rightly said, sir, there is hardly any part of Nigeria where you don't have solid minerals, even in the south-south. But what I observe, whereas the federal government is ruthless with people who are doing illegal oil buckling, and they deploy JTF to deal with those involved in illegal buckling. When it comes to illegal mining of solid minerals, the federal government changes. It's like using different standards. And I'm very angry about that. Because if we have to fight, deploy army, even to kill, for anyone who is involved in illegal buckling of oil, and you deploy JTF, a combination of army, police, air force, everybody, why are we allowing illegal mining in many parts of the country that is going on? And they are being mined by retired generals, and we know them. Yes, we know them. Nobody can pretend doesn't know them. I did a letter to former President Buhari, because somebody I sent to go and conduct a primary somewhere reported back to me, a retired general of Northern Extraction, told me that, look, Adams, you are worried about the challenge of conducting primaries in Zamfara. The challenge he sees there is far more than that. And if it's not dealt with, Nigeria will not know peace in parts of the country. And this gold go all the way through the belt, all to Kaduna. And it up to, yeah, correct. And he told me that those involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South-South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold. And they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC. And I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what subsequently happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. That some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our, when it affects our people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria. We also know, everybody complaining about certain people from certain nationalities. How they got here, even as we are talking now, they are doing those illegal mining. And those guys are getting richer when Nigeria State is getting poorer. But we carry the consequences of banditry, kidnapping, and that which these on illegal armed men, which they equip. Sir, who can afford to buy a chopper to land in an illegal mining site, cut away gold, return to Sediti, and then on the way to airport, bam, take them out of the country? This is happening. So I agree with you, but my position is that we shouldn't, as senators, be lamenting. As senators, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil buckets.